Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? It always amazes me that this is not where it's supposed to be. Let the banners up. Show. Okay. All right. There we go. I don't know why this would not already be this way automatically, but whatever. Give me ones in the chat if you can hear me. Ones in the chat. Let's make sure the audio is working. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in this one. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, perfect. Y'all can hear me. All right, hit the like button on your way in if you don't mind. Let's go ahead and get a couple of house cleaning things out of the way. Please make sure that you subscribe to my Instagram and my Twitter. I don't post as much on there, but I do plan to in due time, as I always say. As soon as I can get me another team member or two, I will start posting clips so that we can grow the platform. All right. So please go and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can find that in the description. If you're not yet a Patreon member, link is in the description to the Patreon. I did just drop one of the best documentaries, if not the best documentary I've ever dropped, that being the Clive Davis documentary. I highly suggest you all go and watch that. So heck yeah. Heck yeah. What's something else? Make sure that you're still subscribed. YouTube, I've been having several people tell me that they have not been getting notifications from my channel for months. So please make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. Check that right now. Make sure that you're still subscribed. Make sure you're and the notification bell is hit. That's just as important. Make sure that the notification bell is hit. All right. I really, really appreciate that. Now, once again, hit the like button. Let's go ahead and hop into this. All right. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I had a bit of an infatuation for scary films or scary movies, horror films. I just like the thrill of it. I like the suspense of it all. And I also enjoyed watching films with my siblings, being the one that looked forward to the scary parts of the movie. And then they kind of looked to me to be like, Dee Dee's not too scared. And wow, they felt better if I was in a room with them. I always like to have that because I'm the second oldest out of my mother's children. Now, hold on, let me pause real fast. So I'm going to go ahead and block somebody because if they're going to just spam my comment section with nonsense, I don't mind opposing views, but you're just not going to comment Dee Dee is a Freemason 50 times, bro. Like, all right, fine. If you think I'm a Freemason, which is complete, I mean, it's complete foolishness. Believe that, but you will go ahead and get banned. I've never banned anybody before, but it's the first time for everything. There you go, buddy. If that's what you were looking for, you got your attention. Now let's get back to work here. We have evil to expose. I don't need time for foolishness. I used to enjoy watching scary films, but it was certain movies that just creeped me out because it just seemed too real. People just played their roles too well. It's like it's a spiritual thing, and it's like I'm watching some films and I'm saying, like, if I've seen you in other movies and then all of a sudden you're in a completely different type of film, and then the type of film that you're in is like you're usually in hood films. You're usually in comedy films or something. If you're, drama or action films, and all of a sudden you're in this horror film, you're the main character and you're playing it very well. Well, that's the way I felt about this movie right here called Bones by Snoop Dogg. Terrified me. I'm like, how can Snoop go from playing in Baby Boy and all these hood classics, so to speak, and then all of a sudden they're trying to rebrand this guy, sort of like the song "Sexual Seduction." Dude, what is with everybody today? They're just like, what is with y'all, bro? But all right, People are spamming my comment section today. I don't know what that's about. Everybody's saying I'm a Freemason. That's so odd. Like, what are you talking about? So I blocked 2 people today. That's weird. All right. So, anyways, for those of you who don't know, Snoop Dogg was exposed. It's something that Snoop Dogg came out and did. That's so funny because I was just about to say, when Snoop Dogg came out with this film, it terrified me because he played the role way too well, and the movie was like, how do you film a movie like that? It was just straight evil. You have to tap into evil to be able to play some of these roles so well, and that's kind of how they rebranded him, similar to how they rebranded him when he came out with Sexual Seduction or Sensual Seduction, which is the radio edit. Exactly. Sensual Seduction. It's like that's not the normal type of music that Snoop Dogg was known for making, right? But I want to show you all what Snoop Dogg has most recently done that's led a lot of people to believe that he has been bought and paid for, which I wouldn't say that he's bought and paid for. I would simply say that he's a pawn, right? He was a quote unquote, what do you call it, industry plant from the jump. Everything I say in this video is alleged. Snoop Dogg has a lot of hits. I believe that he can really rap and he's talented, but we know other people that are just as talented as Snoop Dogg. There's a reason why he can be in the music industry for 3 decades, hasn't had a top charting hit in I don't know how long. He's up there in age, yet he's still at the forefront. Many would argue that he is the most recognizable person in hip hop across the world. Many will probably try to argue someone like Jay-Z, but no, it's Snoop Dogg. And it's a bit odd to me, right? And we're going to expose him. I need to do an entire video on Snoop Dogg, but whether I do an entire video on him sooner than later is irregardless, because I'm going to expose him quite a bit in this video as well. But first, let's take a look at what Snoop Dogg has most recently done that's allowed people or caused people to say that he has been bought and paid for. He's a sellout. All right. Once again, hit the like button if you don't mind. Hit the like button on your way in. And let's get into our first video clip.
That's me. That's me. But you know, there's a whole lot of minds being changed today. Amen. You know, the devil want to change your mind. And you can't let the devil change your mind.
Amen.
Calvin brought us, he changed his mind. I'm not changing my mind. Calvin brought us. I wonder what happened to Calvin. What did they say to him? Something happened. AKA Snoop Dogg. Better than Snoop Dogg, Snoop Puppy. He's gone from a roof roof to a roof roof. Oh, I'm serious. Play the tape. I'm coming out the block. Play the tape.
The new Buzz, the Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, and she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, I didn't come in for this. Just came to watch the movie. Hey man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Movie ain't
All right, that's enough.
So that's like
Now, apparently, somebody answered the question for him because he changed his mind.
Crazy.
Snoop Dogg releases Love is Love, kids song, after backlash over LGBTQ comments.
You see
Months
that?
after, Snoop Dogg raised heckles by expressing frustration with a same-sex couple who had a baby, which they can't do, in a movie. The rapper has launched an effort, now listen to this, why are you talking about this, Wooden? To teach kids. How many parents do I have in here? To teach kids about the many different forms a family can take.
Wow.
On October the 13th, Snoop released the song Love is Love
Crazy.
on his animated children's YouTube series, Doggyland.
Now I'm gonna pause this right here just real quick so we can pay attention to something. So I've talked to you all about this before, even in the Clive Davis documentary that I just dropped a couple of days ago, that I think you all should really go and check out if you like documentaries and deep dives. It's one of my best works ever. We talked about the love is love concept, and you can see consistently over Clive Davis is 40 years in the industry. There's a pattern across his artists and his musicians that he signed. They all seem to support this love is love concept, from Earth, Wind, and Fire to all of them, Whitney Houston, to TLC, to Alicia Keys, all of these people, man. And there's a reason for that. But there's something else I want you all to notice about these artists, right? If you look at Snoop Dogg, they'll sometimes show you who they really are and what they really represent in what they're wearing, not just their hand symbols or their hand signs, as we've talked about many times on this channel, but the clothes that they're wearing, right? So in this image here, where Snoop Dogg is now all of a sudden changing his tune, even though we all know two women can't come together and make a baby, two men can't come together and make a baby. It's impossible. It'll never happen. It goes against God's order. It goes against what God intended, right? And no matter how the masses try, no matter how they try to force it upon the masses and use these celebrities as pawns to try to convince us, it's our job to try to help teach the youngins or the youth what the truth is, because the truth will never change. You don't get your own truth. There's one truth, whether you like it or not. We all share the same truth. That's just a fact. I want you to take a list. I want you to take a look at Snoop Dogg's shirt, right? Because the shirt that Snoop Dogg is wearing is a Kobe Bryant shirt. Now, as I've told you all, I have an 8 or 9 part documentary. It'll be the longest documentary series that I've ever done on this show, because there's so much stuff with Kobe Bryant. So much stuff is just undeniable. Kobe Bryant was also being used to target the youth. A lot of people don't know that. They know him for being an incredible basketball player, but they don't know that Kobe Bryant was everything I said in this video is alleged. I am under the belief, I'll put it that way, that Kobe Bryant was a high-level Luciferian. A high-level Luciferian. The shirt that Snoop Dogg is wearing is from Kobe Bryant's Mamba Academy, right? And the M in the middle of that circle is supposed to stand for, quote-unquote, Mamba Academy. But I think most of us know better than that. That's not what that M stands for. And I'm going to tell you what I think it stands for here in just a second. But first, let's take a look at what this symbol means that goes around the M, which is the snake eating the snake. All right. So let's first look into what this symbol means in some circles. All right. So let's go to this first. So it says here, so you see here the snake eating the snake, and I think it means Ouroboros, emblematic serpent of ancient Egypt, or Kemet, ancient Kemet, which we also spoke about in the Clive Davis documentary, and Greece, represented with its tail in its mouth, continually devouring itself and being reborn from itself. A Gnostic and alchemical symbol, Ouroboros, expresses the unity of all things material and spiritual, which never disappear, but perpetually change from an internal cycle of destruction and recreation. All right. Now let's go to another meaning or another definition of what this term and what this symbol represents. All right. It's really big in gematria. It says here, gematria in Ouroboros. Ouroboros. Mark G. Schramm writes, I read recently that there's a relationship between the Hebrew letter Shet, gematria of 8, and the Ouroboros, the snake that eats its own tail. The latter is a double zero, the head and the body. The Mobius strip of the soul. It is the sideways sign of infinity, as we've all seen the infinity sign, which is the number 8 sideways. Can you say anything more about this supposed connection? To first explain Schramm's question to the rest of you, gematria is the Hebrew term for exploring the purportedly deeper meaning of Hebrew words by means of the numerical equivalents of their letters. Traditionally, that is, each of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet also represents a number, ranging from 1, which is the value of Aleph, the first letter, to 400, the value of Taf. And this numerology has, over the centuries, inspired both a large amount of verbal play and some more serious exegetical and sometimes mystical interpretations. Chet or Hiet is the 8th letter of the alphabet and has the value 8. And since the mathematical symbol of infinity is a lazy 8, as it has been called, or an 8 lying on its side, it does not surprise me to learn from Schramm that Chet has been connected with it. Moreover, since the ancient symbol of the Ouroboros, from Greek oros, tail, and boros, devouring, the serpent curled in a circle with his tail in his mouth, was sometimes taken in ancient myth to express the infinitely cyclical nature of life, in which birth and death follow each other endlessly and can be turned into a figure 8 by pressing the serpent. It too could be associated with Chet or Chet, as could be the Mobius strip, the never-ending surface invented by 19th century German mathematical Ferdinand Mobius. The question is, how old is this association? Is it a traditional Jewish one, right? Because this is Kabbalistic teaching or the Kabbalah, right? Or has it only recently been made in those New Agey Jewish circles that love to find mystical and esoteric symbols everywhere in Judaism? All right. So everyone saw that, right? Let me tell you why this is even a much bigger deal. Because it's not only big in Hermeticism, that being the snake devouring itself, right? It's not only big in Hermeticism or the Kabbalah, right? It's big in gematria altogether, right? Because the number 8 is also infinity sideways, which is the symbol, another version of the symbol that Kobe Bryant used, that I'm going to cover in my Kobe Bryant documentary. Well, it's also the shirt that Snoop Dogg is wearing. Why is this also important? Because Kobe Bryant, throughout his career, did not just wear the number 24. Kobe Bryant also wore the number 8. Kobe Bryant was being used, everything I say in this video is alleged, for those of you who don't remember, as being being at the forefront or being the face of the quote unquote girl dad movement. If a lot of you all remember that, they were pushing the girl dad movement, where they were using male athletes and male celebrities to not only push this idea that as a father, you should have a close relationship with your dad. That's on a 1 or 2 dimensional level. On a 3-dimensional level, everything I say in this video is alleged. Once again, this is what I believe. I believe that they were using people like Kobe Bryant, who, for those of you who don't know, did not have a son. He had like 3 or 4, or he has like 3 or 4 daughters. I believe that they were using Kobe Bryant to push this idea that girls can be just as great as boys, or women can be just as great as men in sports. Now, let's be clear. Women can absolutely be great in sports against other women, relatively speaking, right? We cannot try to change the way of life. The way of life is men are just more physically gifted, or gifted is probably not the right word because women can give birth, men cannot. And I believe that's a gift, absolutely. So women are gifted physically in ways that men can never be gifted, in ways that we can never understand. That does not make women greater than men. Men are greater than women physically when it comes to lifting things, strength, right? Durability, things of that sort, especially as it pertains to sports. That does not make men greater than women. It makes us different. And that's a beautiful thing because we come together and we help. And, one weakness is another person's strength, so to speak, right? There are things women can do, men can't do. For the most part, we'll just never, not only that, but we'll never even understand how to do it. That's what makes women so great. Their nature is different than ours. Someone like a Kobe Bryant was being used to push this idea, and he was being used just like Snoop Dogg is being used to push it against the youth, right? Kobe Bryant has a children's book, and we're going to talk about all of this once again in my Kobe Bryant documentary. Straight demonic, pushing magic on children. There's no doubt that Kobe Bryant was a Luciferian, in my opinion. Allegedly. Right? And that's what he was being used for. It's not a coincidence that his number was the number 8. Right? It all goes back to the Kabbalah and Hermeticism. So when you look at Snoop Dogg, I know I digressed here, but this was very important because, yes, Kobe Bryant played in L.A. Snoop Dogg is from L.A. But that's not the reason why he chose to wear this hoodie in this video at this particular point in time.
His audience.
He chose to wear this for a reason because he wanted to let you know that not only is he backtracking on the video that he made a few years ago or whenever that was that he made this comment, because his nephew or his grandson was telling the truth. Women can't have children with women. They can't. He not only wanted you to know this by making the heart symbol with this artist here, who I'm pretty sure supports the LGBTQ lifestyle, but he also want to let you know that he supports the quote-unquote mother goddess. Everything I say is alleged. The mother goddess. That's what the M, I believe that's what the M here actually stands for. That perfectly coincides with the snake symbol. And that actually reminds me, there's one more thing I want to show you all. If you don't believe me, let's read it here. The mother goddess. Celebrating Mother's Day by acknowledging the mother goddess archetype in mythology. Let's see what it says here. The mother goddess. The concept of the great mother belongs to the field of comparative religion, embraces widely varying types of mother goddess. Carl Jung. Mother goddesses, also known and referred to as the Earth Mother, can be found in many religions and cultural mythologies. Many share similar attributes, which include fertility, childbirth, life, nurturing, sustenance, protection, intuition, spiritual wisdom, rebirth. There's that word, right? The destruction or the decay, right, of something, to be reborn, right? Rebirth and regeneration. Examples of the mother goddess in mythology include Gaia, Rhea, Sophia, the Virgin Mary, Isis, and Hathor. Right? This is typically more Patreon worthy content, but I guess we can lightly touch on it here. If you notice, there is a consistency between the mother goddess and the snake eating itself. They're both Freemasonic, Kabbalistic traditions. And it's not a coincidence that all of a sudden, both of those symbols are here together. And it's what Snoop Dogg is wearing. It 100% coincides with the love is love concept because of the mother goddess. All right? You understand that? Let's continue.
The track about celebrating families of all shapes and sizes features a cameo from The Voice contestant Jeremy Belotates. Did I say that right? Belotates. I don't know him. Who was part of Snoop's team in 2024. The 53-year-old Long Beach, California born rapper then partnered with LBGTQ media advocating, organizing, GLAD, media advocates, advocacy, organization, GLAD, to release a conversation with Jeremy on October the 16th, including coinciding, with the LBGTQ Youth Anti-Bullying Initiative. So my question is, what happened? What did they do to you? What did someone say? How do you go from expressing righteous indignation, laced with cuss words, that your grandson would be confused, which is true, because two same-sex couples can't have babies. They can't. You can't get pregnant for a woman or ladies, and men, you can't get each other pregnant. You can't. Get mad and walk out, get mad and leave, get mad and do what you want to do. You still can't. That's the truth. You can't. It's not open for discussion. You can't. It can't be done. No. So with righteous, proper, well-placed, righteous indignation, minus the cuss words, he takes a stand. And they come, next time we hear from him, not only did he take it back, but the man wrote a song.
Wow.
And they're going to aim it at our children.
Wow.
All I want to know, Calvin, is what did they do to you? What they say to you? What do they have on you? What could make you? I'm a grandfather. There is nothing the world can say to make me take down on something like that I've told my grandson or my granddaughter. I'm not changing on that.
Yeah, I agree. But you said, what do they have on them? For those of you who don't know, Snoop Dogg, and we're going to talk about this in just a moment, Snoop Dogg was actually involved in a murder case, for those of you that know or maybe don't know or don't remember, back, I believe, in the 90s, and he beat his case. And for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty young. I was very young at the time, but I've done my research on it, and I've talked to people who was much older during the time of this trial. But it was under the belief at the time that Snoop Dogg was going to be found guilty. It was pretty obvious to most people that he was alleged to have been the one that done it. I don't know that he did it. I'm not saying that he did it. But at the time, the general consensus was that Snoop Dogg obviously did this. He's going to be found guilty. Rich, famous, expensive attorney. It does not matter. He's going to jail. But he beat it. Snoop Dogg beat this trial. So when you say, what do they have on him? I don't know. I think I'll answer you this way. Much similar to how Donald Trump is behaving in the White House, and people can't understand why he's not going after the Jeffrey Epstein files and all this, that, and the third, and he's buckling for that foreign nation. People have been asking, more so his supporters, what do they have on you, Trump? I don't know. It's kind of interesting that Trump, for the most part, just beat a bunch of charges too, didn't he? I'll stay in line too. Otherwise, maybe I'll be facing more charges in the near future if I don't do what they tell me to do. Let's continue.
I'm not going. He's gone from a bark to a whimper. And I thought I would just bring that up. The question is, what happened? Now, a lot of you will print things about me. But at least one thing's for certain. I didn't change my mind. I hadn't changed my mind.
Truth never changes.
Amen.
Amen.
Giving unto God, saints and friends, it is good for us to be here today in the house of the Lord. Praise the Lord. Isn't the Lord good? And he has blessed us, and here we are getting ready to go into this women's weekend. And here I am. I can't even talk about the women before I have to advocate a little bit, but I did pray for you, for the children. Amen. I preached yesterday about these influencers. I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Influencers, we found out, according to the scripture, this ministry of being an influencer is nothing new. They were influencing folk and grooming them, according to the Bible, in Noah's day. Amen. And they've been influencers. And many of you, they have worked on you through movies, through suggestions, through songs, through different things now. I know they've been working on you, because now when I stand up and talk about stuff like this, even brothers, strong black men, won't say amen. You sit there and look. I've seen a time when a brother, a man, would say, "You're right. Yeah, you're right, man." But now they made wimps out of you. You sitting there, well, you know, I don't want to judge nobody. Man, you know what?
Wow. I told you all, look, this is so crazy because it's running rampant in the world right now. I've shared my experience, a couple of my experiences with you all before. But I also want to share that just the other day, I was talking to a friend and I hadn't seen in a while, and I was telling her about how somebody that I know was fired from their job that paid pretty well, pretty good money. They were fired from their job because their job found out that they believed that there were only two genders. Now, I'm telling my friend this story about how, now we've been talking 20, 30 minutes up until this point. She's given all the right nonverbals and, you know, all the things people are doing when they're engaging in a conversation with you. When I got to this conversation, I said, yo, something crazy happened. I have a friend who got fired because she said that there are only two genders, male and female, which is common sense. It's consistent with science. It's consistent with the scripture. She's a believer. She believes that Jesus Christ is God. She believes in the Bible. Like, I thought this was a Christian nation, even though I know it's not a Christian nation. I thought this was a Christian nation. As soon as I told my friend this, all of a sudden, the head nod stopped. All the nonverbals that told me that she was engaging in the conversation, they halted. I'm noticing it. I noticed it right away. I started to tell her. I wasn't expecting her to do it. And this is an older friend. This friend is in her 50s, right? And I stopped by and I was just catching up with her, seeing how her and her family was doing. And when I started to tell her about this crazy incident that happened to my friend, all of a sudden she's standing there. She's not head nodding. She's not saying anything. And it dawned on me as I was speaking, Didi, you never considered if she agrees with that person's employer or not. I never considered that because it's common sense. Everybody in the world, for the most part, believed common sense up until just a few years ago when they started pushing this on us. So as I'm talking, as soon as I was done speaking and telling her about this situation, I'm expecting her to say some, you know, the normal things. That's crazy, or no, that can't be true. Surely there had to be something else that she did to get fired, or she should sue them. Something. None of that. As soon as I was done speaking, she goes, "So what's your friend doing now?" Did you just hear what I said? I just told you that my friend was fired from her job paying her $70,000 a year because they found out she believed that there are only two genders. They said it was bigotry and they fired her for it. Don't you want to talk about that? Don't you want to address that? She completely ignored it. She didn't address any of it. Can you hear what I just told you? Why is no one shocked about this? Why is no one outraged about this anymore? Why is this not front headline news anymore? Right, exactly. I'm with you on that. I'm so sick of hearing that. That blew my mind. I was like, I just told you something insane. This pastor is spot on. Truth will not change for anybody. I don't care how it hurt your feelings. I'm done with those days.
There are three kinds of bulls. Cows won't say amen. You sit there and look. I've seen a time when a brother, a man, would say, "You're right. Yeah, you're right, man." But now they made wimps out of you. You sitting there, well, you know, I don't want to judge nobody. Man, you know what? There are 3 kinds of bulls, cows in the world. 3. One is a bull.
That's right. That's right.
One is a heifer, the steer, the female, the female steer. That's the lady. And then the third one is a heifer. The heifer was a male, but they removed. They roped them off till the testicles fell off. The steer don't get as big as the bull. The steer's meat is softer, or more tasty, because it's been robbed of its testosterone.
Wow.
I want to know, do I have any bulls in here?
Wow.
Let me hear the bull of the woods shout glory.
Glory.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't let them.
Don't let them castrate you. Amen to that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now let's expose Snoop Dogg. Let's expose a few things about Snoop Dogg. Because for those of you who don't know, Snoop Dogg is no different from these other people. All the other artists I've talked about in the past who have made songs that tells you that they've sold their soul. They literally tell you. Snoop Dogg was no different. He has a song called Murder Was the Case from a few years back. And let's take a listen to some of the lyrics of that song. If I can pull it up. There it is. So let's take a listen here. It says, this is the song, Murder Was the Case. Around the time that he was facing a murder charge. That is so insane. It's like a movie, right? So murder was the case. Let's read the first lyrics of this song. As I look up at the sky, my mind starts tripping. A tear drops my eye. My body temperature falls. I'm shaking and they break in trying to save the dog. Pumping on my chest and I'm screaming. I stop breathing. Dang, I see demons. Dear God, I wonder, can you save me? I can't die. My boo-boo's about to have my baby. I think it's too late for praying. Hold up. A voice spoke to me and it slowly started saying, bring your lifestyle to me. I'll make it better. How long will I live? Eternal life and forever. And will I be the G that I was? See, he's still concerned about being a gangster. I'll make your life better than you can imagine or even dreamed of. So relax your soul. Let me take control. Close your eyes, my son. My eyes are closed. Murder was the case they gave me. It's like a movie, but it was his real life. And he putting this in a song, right? Those of you that are a little bit older, you're going to know exactly the imagery from this video. But for those of you that don't know the imagery from this video, let me help you out. Murder was the case. This is the imagery. If I can get it to show up. This is the imagery from the song that we're just talking about. As you can see, he's singing about, he's having surgery. He was involved in some sort of accident. And then you're going to see while he's laying in the bed, he's thinking about his life. And then a crow appears. When this crow appears, the crow turns into this person that I believe we can all easily to understand that this person represents Satan, right? Look at the hand sign that Satan makes. Boom. Remember this hand sign. We talked about this many times on this channel. This is a Freemasonic hand sign. It is rooted in Luciferianism, right? He's not making that hand sign by mistake at all, right? Hey, and it scared me too. It still scared me, bro. Why would you make a video like this as a rapper? What does this have to do with rapping, bro? Just give us bars. Why would you make a song like this? Because they have to do it. They have to tell people what they did as part of their quote-unquote religion. Look at this. And he's rapping about what the devil gave him. And they go crazy. Crazy. Now all of a sudden, boom. Look at that. He gave his soul to the devil or to Lucifer. He went through with the ritual. He followed through with it. He gave him his word. He took the oath, as they would say. Right? All of these people, him, Dr. Dre. I'm going to show you an image from Dr. Dre, who was a huge influence on Snoop Dogg's career. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, DMX, all of them did the same thing. Why are all these people making songs about quote unquote selling their soul? Every last one of them are using that as artistic expression. Can no one think of anything else creative? Right? Everybody sold their soul the same way to have these riches. Right? Now all of a sudden he has the mansion, the cars, the women, and the girls. There's Dr. Dre. Right? Boom. Just like that, Snoop Dogg is living the life. But what's so weird about this is at the end of the video, Snoop Dogg pays the ultimate price by losing his life. Right? All of these people had to do it. And for those of you that don't know, let me see if I can find this image. There's an image of Dr. Dre in one of the most satanic videos I've ever seen in my life. Why, once again, why would you film a video like this? Once again, check out the hand signs. Anybody that want to proceed at your own risk, go and check out the video. This is Dr. Dre's video called Puppet Master. Puppet Master. Puppet Master. Right? This video is one of the most blatantly obvious and one of the most satanic music videos you'll ever see in your life. And the craziest part is this was shot 20 years ago. Maybe closer to 25 years ago. I'm not saying that Dr. Dre is not talented. Maybe he is the one that's really making those beats. But the truth of the matter is we don't know what go into making those beats. Maybe there are other people that's really making those beats or other entities. We've covered that. Multiple people that have come out and said that they've called on different spirits and spells to be able to create something that they don't remember. Bob Dylan, is that his name? Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see. Let's see if I can pull that up. Bob Dylan. Ah, shoot, I deleted it. Hold on. Let's see if we can find it. I'm going to just pull up my Clive Davis video. We're going to find it together. I'm going to show y'all what Bob Dylan said this. Actually, it's not in the actual clip. But Bob Dylan, for those of you who don't know, is a popular artist. Bob Dylan said he don't even remember writing the songs. Maybe I can pull it up. Bob Dylan. Let's see if we can pull this up. 30. Let's see. 121. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can pull this up. I'm going to show y'all something. Bob Dylan admitted this in an interview. There's nothing else to take from this but what he said. He's telling you what happened.
You ever look at music that you've written and look back at it and say, whoa, that surprised me?
I used to. I don't do that anymore. I don't know how I got to write those songs.
What?
What do you mean you don't know how?
Well, those early songs were like almost magically written. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even the silver spoon, a handmade blade, a child's balloon.
Eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand, you knew too soon. There's no sense in trying.
Try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic. You know, it's a different kind of a penetrating magic.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
What more do you need to see? What more do you need to hear? There's nothing metaphoric about what he just said. There's nothing metaphorical about that. There's nothing symbolic about that. All these artists from different genres and different eras, different styles of music, they're all saying the same stuff? No. Right? No. These people are telling you what they believe in, man. Believe them. Enough said. Exactly. Enough said. Enough said. Snoop Dogg, I remember a few years ago, I went ahead and blurted out. So YouTube, if you're watching, there's nothing inappropriate on this screen. I wouldn't dare show anything inappropriate. This is Snoop Dogg in the early 2000s. Look at what he did. He showed up to an award show with two, and when I say half naked, it doesn't even do it service. It doesn't even do justice. It's not even a testament to what these women were wearing. Their outfits were completely see-through. The tops were completely see-through. I want to remind everybody, Snoop Dogg has been, him and his wife, just celebrated, I believe, like 35 years of marriage or 30 years of marriage. This is Snoop Dogg. Why would you be doing, even if you're cheating on your wife or your wife and you have agreed to have an open marriage, which isn't a marriage, even if y'all have agreed to do that between the two of you, why would you come out in public and humiliate your wife that way? The vows that you all took. Why would you do that? It's not about me trying to judge Snoop Dogg. It's about being true and being honest. None of us are perfect. I'm a sinner. I'm going to sin today. I've already sinned today. I'm going to sin tomorrow. Every day I put a foot in front of the other and I try to improve every day. Jesus Christ is Lord. He is my biggest inspiration. I'd love to be like Jesus Christ. Whether you believe that whether you believe that Jesus Christ is God, was God, whatever, however you look at it, you can't deny that that person was an incredible person when they were on this earth. You cannot deny that. Why would you do this? What message is this sending? This is wild. This picture right here, unblurred, uncovered, y'all came out and they were wearing chains around their neck. You know, he's Snoop Dogg. So he was walking them like animals, like they were property, like slaves. He showed up to an award show like this. You can actually see it dangling from their bodies, their chains that were around their necks. Insanity, man. Right? Also, for those of you that don't know, Snoop Dogg was used a few years ago to push the metaverse agenda. As I've said before, I believe that these people are being used. Celebrities are just pawns. They're put in position so that they can then use them to influence the masses. If you like somebody because of basketball or because of sports or because of music, right? Because of comedy, you're much more likely to influence them to support something like a liquor brand, right? Like the metaverse. This is Snoop Dogg. He was being used to push the metaverse. You had one customer that I believe they spent like $450,000 just to be Snoop Dogg's neighbor. Yeah, sure, if they decided to spend their own money, that's on them. But still, nonetheless, celebrities being used to push this stuff on the world and where the world is headed, the direction the world is headed. Right? Yeah. That's Snoop Dogg. This is how a lot of people become stars and icons, right? This is Snoop Dogg smoking a blunt with his hands up in the air as if to be praised, to be worshipped, right? Because a lot of these people believe that they're their own gods, all right? That's what a lot of them believe. For those of you that don't know, Snoop Dogg has been seen on the Freemasonic checkerboard flooring, right? Straight up. That's Snoop Dogg on the Freemasonic checkerboard flooring, standing in between two pillars. We also talked about this in my Clive Davis documentary as well. Hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button on your way in. Right? Why is it that so many musicians and artists and celebrities can be seen on the white and black checkerboard flooring standing in between two pillars? All of them. They all do the same stuff. Why? We know why. He also performed, I believe, in Detroit a few years ago at a Freemasonic temple. Right? Speaking of a Freemasonic temple, see if I can pull this up. This is Snoop Dogg a few years back getting his Hollywood star. Look who he's standing with. Dr. Dre, the one and only Dr. Dre, in his all black. He's always in all black, but that's a video for another day. Dr. Dre is always dressed in all black, and there's a reason for that. Look at the other person, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, who, as I've stated before in my Charlie Kirk videos, performs his show in a Freemasonic temple. Literally. Right? There's a reason why Snoop Dogg can headline Super Bowl halftime shows. And it's like, bro, you hadn't had a hit in what, 20 years? 15, something like that years. How are you getting these big gigs, bro? A lot of people got hit songs. A lot of people have talent. We know why. Right? We know why. That is crazy, man. Crazy, man. Crazy, man. So let's move on to our next topic. Mr. 6ix9ine. Those of you who don't know who 6ix9ine is, 6ix9ine is a rapper who blew up in the 2010s. He blew up maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And 6ix9ine would catch a case where him and his gang, or his alleged gang, was charged with a RICO charge. All right. And it came out in this trial that 6ix9ine was going to snitch or tell on his gang. He took the stand, and this pretty much ruined his image in hip hop because he was seen as a rat because he was telling. Well, 6ix9ine over the past 2 weeks, I'll say have made an impression on me because he's been telling a lot of stuff about the industry that that a lot of people shouldn't be telling. Why you would pick a name like 6ix9ine, I don't know. I can tell you why I think you would pick a name like 6ix9ine, which is the same reason why you have rainbow colored hair. What gangster has rainbow colored hair? Just like Young Thug. What gangster would wear a dress? Young Thug inspired this other rapper that looked a lot like Young Thug. This man had on a wedding dress. And let's see if we can pull that up. Share screen. Let's see if we can pull this up. Let's see. 6ix9ine rapper. What gangster looks like this, people? Because even if you want to have colored hair, why does it have to look like that? That's how a woman's hair typically looks, man. What message are you sending? Somebody make sense of this for me. They're normalizing this stuff on purpose. He's an industry plant, allegedly. I believe that this person is an industry plant. You go this to this extent. Look at the snakes behind him. We were just talking about that. You go to this extent to imprint 6ix9ine all over your body, which is just 6'6" if you turn one of them the other side up, right? Let's see. Young Thug look alike wedding dress. Watch this. Here he is. This is not Young Thug, people. This is a guy who is another rapper, forget his name, that came out maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Look at what they're doing with the gun. They took the gun, the barrel of the gun, they put it in his mouth. And look at his hair. What are you doing here, bro? You want to go viral that bad in a wedding dress? This image right here is crazy. I'm not even going to zoom in on that. This image is crazy. This person is the person that inspired them to do that. This is the person. This is a close-up on this guy. This is not Young Thug. Once again, and his hair is rainbow colored as well, just like 6ix9ine. All right? That's crazy, man. Painting his fingernails just like Young Thug. That's crazy, man. That is crazy, man. There's the one-eye symbolism. That is crazy, man. Crazy. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. But anyways, 6ix9ine has been doing a lot of exposing. And I want you all to take a listen to what 6ix9ine, and I guarantee you he's going to face some consequences for sharing this information. But let's take a listen to something that 6ix9ine said.
Especially with Sweetie, Mellow Rax, and some other rappers that are women.
So Sweetie, for those of you who don't know, is a female rapper that's been taking a lot of heat lately because Sweetie was seen in Dubai. For those of you that have not seen my Dubai trip video, the industry model exposing what the Dubai trips are really about and what the women are doing over there and how they come back with so much money. They come back with $20,000, $20,000, $30,000. What are you doing to make $15,000 in one trip? What are you doing? And we covered that on my show. Well, Sweetie was seen in Dubai recently. And as you know, her career has fell off. And a lot of people have been accusing her of doing some unethical things to go over there and to try to make a lot of money, to make up for the money she has not been making in the music industry. She's come out and denied these claims. But let's see what 6ix9ine had to say.
Nowadays, especially with Sweetie, Mellow Rax, and some other rappers that are women. And they're saying that
nigga said, this my topic right here.
Their career.
Let me put my this when you bring a what's it called? Like, you know, the inspector for the city. Like, to see if you have all the permits and like if everything is like.
That's you?
That's me right now.
She belongs to the streets.
Hey, once again, everybody, please hit the like button. I need you all to hit the like button. Lives, a lot of my content is shadow banned. I meant to talk about this at the beginning. My content is shadow banned because of things that we talk about. Some people will tell you that their content is shadow banned, but in all actuality, this is going to sound a little harsh. You just got to make better content. That may apply to me in some cases, sometimes too. But a lot of you all can attest that my content is quality content, but I'm not getting support from the algorithm most of the time. There's a reason for that. So I need you all to hit the like button to help me fight against this. I would really appreciate it. All right, let's get back to it.
Basically, as Myron Short would say, whole facts. There's been a lot going on in the industry of rap, of course, music, where they're saying some female rappers have said, you know what, my career is going down the hill. I'm gonna be an escort.
No, that's not how it goes. Now let the professional speak.
Correct me.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
These girls that sell right? They don't say my career is going down. They don't do that. These girls who sell actually sell it when they're highest in their career. Cause who's gonna want to buy a down bad rappers?
Haram!
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
As little they get, they're like you see my popping right now, 100,000 right now. You right now.
Wow.
Straight up.
Pay that shit.
Pay that shit.
Who? Give me one person.
Bro, it's like.
There's a lot of editing in this video. For those of you that did not just catch that, 6ix9ine just made the claim that no, the way the industry works is not what many people think. It is not that a lot of these women wait until their career is going down into the toilet or down the drain, and then that's when they start to sell their bodies, right? Or allow humiliating rituals and things to happen to them in order to make money because their career is not where it once was. 6ix9ine said that's not the way it works. The way that it works is that they actually sell it when they're at the very top. So I'm not saying that these women are the ones that do it, but I'm just going to name people that are at the top. You got your Meg Thee Stallions, you got your Beyoncés, you got your Rihannas. Rihanna has been accused of being not necessarily an escort, but a victim of human. I don't want to say the word on here; they'll flag my video. They've been accused of being these things, and that's the reason why they're famous, rich female celebrities. But I digress. He's saying they do it when they're at the highest in their career because that's when they're worth the most. That's when they're pursued the most, so they can make the most money. They can charge the most. Like you see me, I'm on the charts, I'm popping. If you want this, you got to pay $100,000, $100,000. And the guy here just asked 6ix9ine, do you pay that? 6ix9ine says they pay that. $100,000 to sleep with someone for one night, one time. Which is not what a lot of people would think. He said they do it at the highest of their career. But wait till you hear all the people that are getting this and doing it.
You don't understand, like, because you live in a world where, like, people clock into, like, UPS, Walmart, Dwayne Reed. They're car salesmen at.
Hold on. Someone says Rihanna is a black queen. OMG, here we go. Didi is putting her down too. Is this a joke? Are you trolling me? Do I need to even waste my time talking about Rihanna and what she's done in her career? Have you followed Rihanna's career? Do you know how she got on? The meeting that she had in the hotel room? What Jay-Z told her when she first signed? How either sign this contract or you got to jump off this building? And they were on like the whatever building or the floor way up. Do you know what she's done and said in her music videos? Stop. Jesus Christ is Lord, bro. Stop.
Bro, it's like you don't understand, like, cause you live in a world where, like, people clock into, like, UPS, Walmart, Dwayne Reed. They're car salesmen at Rolls Royce. These are people with real jobs, right? Real jobs of, like, construction. They go. Nobody has time to look at, spend money on who's getting real money, right? You'd be surprised who's paying for. Yeah, it'd be like, you know, who be sports bettors, who be owners of, like, owners of, like, a landscaping company, or like
doctor,
a doctor, an anesthesiologist, or of owner of, like, 3 local bars. You know what I mean? Or they don't even have to be that broke by first unemployment check that come in, they spending that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so imagine a soccer player, right? A baseball player, NFL player that's just signed a $6.7 million a year contract. $6.7 million a year contract. You think I can spend $100,000 on the girl I've been, like, fantasizing about on Instagram?
Easy.
What's 100,000 minus 6.7? 6.6. It don't matter. It don't matter. So my thing is buy. You know what I mean? Now, there's a trick to it. Thank you. Now,
hold on, Danny. There's a rumor, right? They say I pay for.
That's cool.
No, hold on.
You know what I
mean? But I can't get over doing it because I feel like it's weird. Because I feel it's not like real.
Why you want it to be real? You simping, bro?
Hold on.
Simping.
I want somebody to feel me for real, though.
How dare you? That.
For the moment.
Yeah. That's and you hit it. Bow. Look, you just headshotted that. Even if she was feeling you, it's just for that moment.
That's fun, though.
That's crazy.
Sam, get him out of here.
Okay, why they pay?
You ever seen that conceited meme?
Why they pay?
Yeah, that shit.
Why they paying?
First of all, and because some girls, bro. And most girls shut up when they think, like, yo, this pays good. he's not gonna say nothing because he got a girl, and I want to keep that revenue coming in. I'm gonna just keep, like, it's just what it is, bro. All right, put it like this. A could be, all right, and prove me wrong. And we're gonna talk about this because these facts. Could be down to earth, right? Down to earth, right? Let's talk about a white woman, right? White woman, right? Let's talk about a white woman.
My favorite.
A white woman could be sleeping on the on the floor with you doing this, but you doing everything to make her feel comfortable. What happens if you don't do anything to make her feel comfortable, or anything to keep a roof over your shoulders, something to eat? Now, a bitch will stay there and do that, an amount of time till she finds something
Absolutely.
better. Better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's time clock.
Where she feels like there's damage out there, bro. That's like, yo, this is the best I'm gonna get. I'm gonna settle. Even if you Jeff Bezos, bro, and Jay Bezos, if you ever see this, because even the top of the top see shit, I f with you, bro.
Let's go.
Like, you know what I mean? If Jeff Bezos couldn't, keep his wife happy, so
Tom Brady,
bro.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's the best QB of all time.
Yeah.
A jiu-jitsu, bro, and Tom, no, hold on. Because
And what he's talking about is Tom Brady, legendary Hall of Famer football player. If it's called Hall of Fame, I don't know if it's called Hall of Fame in the NFL, but his wife apparently left him for her trainer. All right, for her jiu-jitsu trainer. So that's what he's referring to. But I'm going to refute a lot of the nonsense that they're talking about in this clip. I understand that they're of the world and that I don't think anybody at this table follows Jesus. I understand that. But I'm going to just tell you how toxic this entire conversation is. But I appreciate 6ix9ine exposing this stuff.
hold on. Not like that.
It's that jiu-jitsu nigga. What the bro?
Hold on, y'all making up. Tom Brady, I FaceTime that nigga for my birthday, bro.
Really?
Yeah, that was like my idol, bro.
Well, that's gonna go viral now.
No, but I'm just saying. No, but and let's get off Tom Brady. Let's talk about Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos.
I could miss out on Amazon packages.
or Shannon Sharp, bro. Shannon Sharp.
Let's not talk about that. But listen, bro. So my thing is, if dumb can't keep their wife happy, what chance do you got? What chance do I got? What chance do you got?
We're all cooked.
Yeah, we're all cooked.
We're cooked.
Lies. That's complete foolishness. Lies. He says that if rich people like Jeff Bezos, which is in the conversation for one of the most wealthiest men in the world, if a person like Jeff Bezos or one of the most accomplished and celebrated football players of all time, that being Tom Brady, if they can't keep their wives happy, what chances do we have? First and foremost, is it real? Are they with women that they came up with? Or are they with women that they got once they were famous or after they were already rich? Are the women actually with them because they love each other? Is their marriage rooted in something strong? Like, is it rooted in a strong foundation? I don't know, like Jesus Christ. And even if you don't follow Jesus Christ, something, or is it superficial? Is it all about the image? Is it all about the looks? Myron Gaines just sat there, and Myron Gaines tells a lot of truth. He says a lot of nonsense too, and sat there, agree with them. No, we're cooked. No, you're not. It all depends on when and where and how you meet your wife or your future wife. That matters. I was talking to my buddy the other day, and he was like, he's going to have to change where he goes to find women or to find his wife, because some circles, you're just not going to find your wife in certain rooms. You're not. So no, you can't compare yourself to these famous people, because in fact, I would argue as a normal person, as a regular guy, you're going to have a much better chance at finding your wife than a rich man. Or at least I should say the wife that's really good for you, as opposed to being rich. What is the Bible verse? I believe it's Matthew something. A rich man will, hold on, I'm going to butcher it. What's the Bible verse? The eye of a needle. Something about the eye of a needle. Let's see. Let's see. There it is. Matthew 19:24. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. That's what this reminds me of. It is much easier for a poor man to be able to find his wife than it's going to be for a rich man, right? It just is, because not just because you got money and you just don't know if they love you for you or if they love you for your status, your wealth, your money, but it's also because of what comes a lot of times with the lifestyle of having money. It's a fast lifestyle. It's a lot of temptation. You can do a lot of things, right? You're afforded a lot of abilities and privileges that the average person is not afforded, right? So that's a terrible comparison. I would much rather be regular. I love being me. I love being not rich, right? Because it comes with a lot of additional headaches. I didn't say I don't love having money. Sure, I want to be able to take care of my family, but making $30 million a year is no. I have no interest. $10 million a year, I have no interest. Just give me enough to be able to take care of my family where we don't have to stress. Because then you turn into this right here. You start having conversations like this, right? 6ix9ine is telling this guy that you shouldn't be simping over a woman. He's saying that I don't understand paying for sex with the woman. I don't either. I've never understood it. I'll never be able to understand it. And I hope it stays that way for the remainder of my life. I don't want to know what it's like. It's not real. I agree with you. Don't listen to 6ix9ine when he's telling you, yeah, that's because it's supposed to be a one-time thing. You're supposed to shoot it and keep it moving. What way is that to live life? That's so depressing. So depressing, bro. I'm not even coming from a judgmental perspective, because I just need to pray for these brothers. I do. Not in the sense that I look down on them, but pray for them that they're able to come out of this, because that's no way to live life. When you're having intercourse with people, you're exchanging soul ties. You are. And it impacts your being, who you are. All right? This is crazy, man.
Let's not talk about that. But listen, bro. So my thing is, if dumb can't keep their wife happy, what chance do you got? What chance do I got? What chance do you got?
Yeah, we're all cooked.
Yeah, we're all cooked.
We're cooked.
Yes, Cap.
Yeah, I literally talked about that in my book. Like, Tom Brady's like the pinnacle.
Pinnacle, he's good looking.
Yeah.
He's the best to ever do it in his lane.
Yep.
What chance do we have, bro?
They think that being great at your job is supposed to transition to being a great husband. They think being good looking and having status is supposed to automatically make your wife happy with you. Maybe that just wasn't the woman for him. Maybe she was just a bad wife, right? There are many more examples out there of good women, right? Yes, a lot of women that aren't good and not wife material. Now, if this is the woman he came up with when he wasn't having it and he wasn't rich and all that, which he's been rich for a long time, then I don't know. But one shoe do not fit all sizes. Everybody don't wear the same shoe. Every situation don't apply to everybody, right? That's insane to me. What chance do we have? He's at the top. He's at the pinnacle. Yeah, because you're not talking about women, right? You're talking about girls. You're talking about the other words to describe women that aren't women. That's what you're talking about. There's a difference. Bingo. You can't wife a witch. You can't wife a witch. I agree. And for those of you who don't know, Tom Brady infamously shared in an interview that he has been partaking in rituals before games for like the past decade and a half, maybe, because his wife would do spells before every game. He said she didn't tell him this until later. Wouldn't that make his wife a witch? A witch? I think that would make his wife a witch.
So Danny, what's the solution? Just have fun, enjoy life.
Just have fun. Don't be a
That's what they do,
fresh.
nigga?
Don't be a fresh. Nigga said I want her to like me in that moment.
Hold on, it's fun. But you get what I'm saying, though. It's fun.
He just asked a highly intoxicated 6ix9ine. Imagine what you have to be in life where you're asking a rapper, an intoxicated rapper with pink hair, with tattoos all over his face, that just got done fighting a RICO charge for being paid. He was being extorted because he wasn't a real gang member. He was jumped into a gang for lucrative purposes because he was the talented one. They were the ones with no money, no talent. So they pretended to portray him as a gang member so that it can help his image blow up. And it worked. This person is being asked for relationship advice. What world are we in? And what you got to understand is that the youth is watching stuff like this. They're going to see his music. They're going to hear his music and say, man, he popping. He got a lot of views. Let me hear what he got to say in interviews. And they're going to listen to him. I'm 31. What about the 11-year-old that's listening to this? What about him? What about her? That's who we got to be reaching, because this destructive, demonic message that they're sharing is not what our youth needs to be hearing.
Fun in the moment, bro.
Huh?
It's fun in the moment. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need a list, bro.
Yeah.
From 1 to 5 top female rappers that are
crazy. So there's the clip. And for those of you that don't know, let me show you who 6ix9ine came up in the industry with, so you can understand who we're talking about. All right. He came up with a rapper called Trippie Redd. This is Trippie Redd. I know I don't need to convince most of you all what the music industry is, but it's always important to show you these newer artists. This is Trippie Redd. Need I explain what we're looking at? This is who is also, in my belief, an industry plant, right? All right. This is Trippie Redd. This is who 6ix9ine came into the industry with. They orchestrated or manufactured a beef so that they can sell more records. Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine were quote unquote beefing with each other. Oh, I'm definitely tapped in. I know. All right. This is Trippie Redd. Need I explain more? And it gets worse when you get into his lyrics, which we won't do here. Right? Need I explain more? With the devil horns. Right? All right. Need I explain more? This is Trippie Redd. These are real images. These are real images of Trippie Redd. Everything isn't about clickbait. Everything isn't about shock value to sell more records, to get more views. Some of it is. And some of it is just, if you get more views, that's just the upside of it. They really telling you what they doing, bro. Why would you partake in a video like this? All right. Yeah. This is him here. These are real images. All right. And I want to go back to Kobe Bryant real fast. We were talking about the mother goddess. I just remembered something. I forgot to show you all something. To further drive home the point about the mother goddess, you know, earlier we were talking about this image on Snoop Dogg's shirt, which those of you that are a little bit later, you're going to have to go back to the beginning so you can catch all of this. But we were talking about this logo, which is Kobe Bryant's logo, which I believe stands for the mother goddess, and it does not stand for the Mamba Academy, which, by the way, Kobe was called the Black Mamba, right? The Black Mamba, which also buys into the Kabbalistic, symbol right here that is also big in Hermeticism, mysticism, Freemasonry, Luciferianism. This image right here, Kobe was called the Black Mamba. This image with the snake eating itself is also big with the infinity sign. It's big in gematria for the number 8. In Hebrew for the number 8. Kobe Bryant wore the number 8 early in his career. He's also called the Black Mamba, which buys into the snake eating itself. But a little bit more on the mother goddess. It says here, in occultism and esoteric spirituality, the term quote-unquote mother goddess, also sometimes called the Great Mother, Divine Feminine, or Earth Mother, refers to a powerful archetype and divine principle that embodies creation, nurturing, wait for it, transformation. We were just talking about transformation, this and the cyclical nature of existence, right? Says it here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So once again, what I would highly recommend most of you all do, first and foremost, hit the like button. Once again, please go and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Link is in the description. Link is in the description also to my Patreon. If you want to check out 2 of my videos that will be related to this video, the Clive Davis documentary I just dropped 2 days ago. It is not a live, but it is a regular video on my channel. Please go and check that out. It's going to blow your mind. The second video I would highly encourage you all to go and check out on my channel. It's called The Industry Model Exposes the Dubai Trips. It's going to go more and more into detail about what these women are doing in Dubai. Not just celebrities, but also regular people. Strippers and models and, young rappers, female rappers. Even some males are going over to Dubai allegedly. Right? Someone said today is Snoop's birthday. Is that right? Let me go and see. That'd be crazy if that's the case. Matter of fact, I'll search it on here. Let's search it here together. Let's see if this is true. Snoop Dogg's birthday. That's crazy. October 20th, 1971. Crazy. And this is when he's trending. Crazy, man. Shout out to you. Heresy C, shout out to you for interesting name, Heresy C, but shout out to you for giving us that. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so let's check out some super chats and I'm gonna get up off here. Shout out to Karen Farnsworth. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. You have been working so hard. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm working on a video for Patreon that I should have had out a month ago. But I will have it done here pretty soon. Now that I finally got that Clive Davis video done, which took me a very long time to do, I'm going to finally get this video out on Patreon that I promised over a month ago. And so that's my fault. Incredible 916. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's so funny. George Bush does not care about black people. When Kanye West said that, Chris Tucker looked so uncomfortable standing next to him. Elaine Lucas, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. As always, you always support me. I think you support me just about as much as, if not more than anybody else on this channel. Heck yeah. I do want to say, if y'all want to support me more so that I'm not taxed on these tips, it'll be dope if you can Cash App it to me. But either way, I'm grateful either way, but they're just something to give you all something to think about. Consider something to consider. If you send it to my Cash App, which is in the bottom of this screen, but it's also in the description as well. But if you choose to send it this way, I'm just as grateful. Thank you so much. As always, Miss Elaine. CFA cut from above. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I don't get a lot of $20, man. That's big time. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. Ephesians 5:11. Is that Ephesians 5:11? God bless you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Ephesians 5:11 is one of my favorite scriptures. Holy scriptures, absolutely. William, I should have known William's gonna be here. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my guy. Metallica had an album, Puppet Master, also. Yep, you're right. Look up David Bowie, Black Star, holy cow. It all of them and normies think it's a joke. I know, but listen, William, you're probably somebody I should expect to have watched it already. But if you haven't seen the Clive Davis documentary, David Bowie fell under Clive Davis as well, bro. If I'm not mistaken, and even if he didn't, I covered him because David Bowie, he highly revered Aleister Crowley, and they were open about it. David Bowie, shoot, I'm gonna butcher a lot of them, but a lot of those people, man, a lot of those people, XXXTentacion, but a lot of those early rock artists and musicians, Bob Dylan, we just talked about Bob Dylan, all of them, bro. So heck yeah. William, once again, thank you for the $2 super chat. Represents Baphomet, the transgender movement. Yes. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I also have a video on Patreon for my Patreon members. If you want to better understand why a person like Snoop Dogg would be encouraged to come out with a love is love, which is a Aleister Crowley popular phrase, love is love, which is also a popular phrase in the LGBTQ movement, which isn't an attack on the people that represents or the average person that identifies as LGBTQ. It's the people that started the movement, right? The people that's behind the movement. I have a video called the open secret about gender ideology, right? This is a video that I made like 3 years ago. It's one of the most incredible videos. It talks about the father or the person that's considered like the father of the movement that started the transgender movement, the experiment that he conducted on these twin boys where he lied. He lied about what they identified as. He said that these children, these two boys, thought they were female. They didn't think that. They forced this upon these boys to experiment on them. Both boys went on to pow themselves because they couldn't live with themselves, right? That video is crazy. It exposes what the love is love, what the men can be women, women can be men movement is all about. It's not because there's this huge revelation lately and we're just trying to be more inclusive. No, all of this stuff is by design, all of it. And it is related to the Baphomet. Go and check that out when you get a chance. If you're on my Patreon, I know some of you, especially some of you that are older, don't really know how to work Patreon. So what I would suggest doing is when you go to my Patreon, just hit the search button. You are able to search videos by titles. I would suggest just typing in gender. The word gender should be enough. And it should take you to the open secret about gender ideology, the binary movement, or something like that. It's an incredible video. It's like, I think 20 minutes long or something, 15 minutes long. But it's documentary style. William, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. While truth hurt, dude feelings do hurt about Rihanna. Right. I almost felt like he was trolling me. Like, there's no way she's a strong black woman. That has nothing to do with what I said, brother. You can be a strong black woman and you can still be for the things that I mentioned. Right? Elaine, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. William, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I made it a habit to hit like first thing. My dude, my guy, appreciate that. Because we're going to definitely need it on channels like mine. I'm not the only channel that deal with this, right? They are truly shadow banning certain content. And I'm getting comments like that all the time under my video. Even a video that I've settled to believe are good views. Like if I get 30,000 views on a video, even if I felt like the video should have got 500,000, I know how YouTube works. And all videos aren't going to take off. But you have people that'll join and say, bro, how does this video only got 50,000 views? Or only 10,000 views? Fam, this video should have 300,000, something like that. And I always appreciate that because it shows me that they see the value in my work. And it also shows how YouTube works. YouTube they'll let some of my videos squeak through the cracks. But I got to like balance my videos. All my videos can't be super deep because they'll try to really shadow ban my videos in my channel. Like I said, I do this full time now, so I don't want that to happen. Brown Sugar and Curls, thank you so much for the follow super chat. DD, do you have thoughts about gematria as it relates to the industry? By the way, love your content. Thank you so much for your support. To answer you, I do have thoughts. Gematria is extremely important. In fact, it's just as important as any and everything else I've ever talked about. The reason why I don't delve into it, and I've shared this before, is one, it can get super complex, and I don't fully understand all the workings of it, just to be honest. The the high level stuff I do understand, but some of it can get super deep. And because it can get super deep, I don't want to scare people who may be new to this information. I don't want to scare them away. Right? I want to meet them where they are with imagery. You can't deny what's on the screen. You can't deny what's in a music video. You can't deny the lyrics. You've sang the lyrics to this song for years, but you've never really realized what you were saying. Now I'm about to show you what they were actually saying and what you've been singing along to for years. You can't deny that. Now, once I got you here, let's talk gematria. You know what I mean? So I actually covered a little bit of gematria in the Clive Davis documentary that I dropped a couple of days ago. But not a whole lot, you know. Like Ray J, right? Ray J and Clive Davis and Whitney Houston having like 11 #1 singles in a row or something like that. Maria Lexus, thank you so much for the one on the super chat. Appreciate your support big time. And last one, William Ellick, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I'm concerned about BB buying up all media TikTok. Yeah, I saw that. Well, I mean, I guess you can refer to it as BB Netanyahu as well. But what's his name? Larry, a guy named Larry, who is a huge supporter of that foreign nation. Yeah, they bought it, and so now people, I think they've already banned the word juice, like orange juice, apple juice. People have been using the word juice to refer to a certain group of people, and my understanding is they've already banned, I believe, the word juice and or the emoji for apple juice or orange juice, which is crazy because at some point you're going to have to ban a lot of words and a lot of emojis. You know? Back here, man. Right. How can you ban the word juice? Crazy. Yeah, this emoji right here. They're banning this word, this emoji on TikTok. She was already a member. She upgraded her membership. That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah, that's support right there. It means a lot to me. It really does mean a lot. Yeah, crazy. Amen. I'm with you on that. I follow you. I'm with you. Oh yeah, let me just share with y'all before I leave. Apparently, Candace Owens, according to what she said, has received a gag order and has been instructed that she can no longer talk about the Charlie Kirk case. Have y'all heard about this? Let me just show it to y'all before we log out. Let me show y'all this. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Let me show it to y'all. Candace Owens. Don't worry about the gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. I plan to violate it on the world's behalf. The things I've discovered this past week are enough to burn the house down. Yes, Charlie was betrayed by everyone. That is a lot. And I will say, and just being objective, I do find it a bit weird that you're publicly saying this. Like, just do it, you know. But this thing got 7.2 million impressions or views. Yeah. Yeah, there's a comment that somebody said that I thought was spot on. It sounds like something I would say. Let's see. Where's the comment at? There it is. They said they always send someone to quote unquote violate the gag order when the gag was part of the script. Candace isn't exposing the machine. She's performing it like a ritual reenactment influencer clothing. Charlie was betrayed by everyone. Clean, viral, ambiguous. Just enough to rage to keep you talking. Just vague enough to keep you guessing. It's not journalism. It's catharsis porn. Simulated rebellion to drain the real one. The house doesn't burn when you yell fire. It burns when someone kicks the gas line. Not when they, quote unquote, post, I plan to violate it on behalf of the world. No real operative announces they're violating the script. They vanish or die or leak with no name. So if the spotlight's on the rebel, they were cast, not cursed. This isn't whistleblowing, it's pressure valve theater. The truth didn't trend, the illusion led it. Now, I do believe that he used AI. This was AI. I do believe that, but I think that there's some truth to this. Again, like I said before, I agree with a lot of the things that Candace Owens says, but I do side eye Candace Owens for about 3 to 4 reasons, right? But as far as like her take and her approach with the Charlie Kirk case, I'm with her. I agree with her on it, right? But that's crazy if they've shadow banned the girl. Like, that's crazy. I mean, not shadow banned, if they've sent the gag order, right? So we will be covering that sometime later this week. Also, be on the lookout Thursday for those of you that tuned into the live with Kelvin. If it's the Lord's will, him and I will be doing a deep dive, and I'll be doing a lot of learning as well, because it seems like he knows probably more than I do. I'll be doing a deep dive with Kelvin on Freemasonry, Aleister Crowley, and the occult. It's a lot that I wanted to do like 2 weeks ago, but I'll do it with him instead Thursday. So make sure your notification bell is on. I'm going to say this before I log off. Please make sure you hit the like button. Please make sure that you're still subscribed. YouTube will unsubscribe people. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell is still hit so that you can be notified. I appreciate you all. God is with us. I got some merch coming on the way. I love y'all, man. I do believe that Candace has handlers or a handler. I do. Yep, but allegedly. But again, thank y'all so much for your support. I'm logging off. Once again, just make sure that the notification bell is hit. Peace.